How's it growing, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beginner Buds. At this point, the girls have shot out of their shells and are about to get a pleasant surprise because this week is all about nutrients. Last week, we stressed out our ladies a little bit after forgetting to lower the lights and cause some stretching. Fortunately, we were able to brace them quickly and have already begun to see some progress as they strengthen up. In the meantime, things are starting to calm down as our ladies get into their element under the adjusted equipment. Of course, growing fast is good and all, but if they can't stand on their own, that's another story. That said, these plants needed a boost and we're about to get it as it was finally time to start feeding them the good stuff. Seeing how they can't live on water alone, it's time to start with nutrients so that they get as strong as they are big. As we'd quickly realize though, there's a little more to it than simply wishing it to be. After hitting the books, we came up with a plan and set it into motion. As we've said before, this is all about learning together, and although we've done a lot of that, there's still much more of that to come. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so at this point the girls are coming along pretty well, but we're just getting started and it's going to be a long road. Even worse yet, we haven't even touched the one thing that can make or break any beginner: nutrients.
With a full week down though, it was time to feed these girls what they would need to blossom into beautiful, full-bodied ladies. Now when it comes to newts, there's really quite a bit to choose from. For one, there's a big difference between how you feed cannabis plants rooted in soil versus that of hydroponic medium. Given the fact that we're going with the latter, we then had to choose from liquid nutrients or dry amendments. We chose to go with General Hydroponics Flora Series. Along with that, we will also be amending our plants' diets with some CalMag as well.
Now for those that don't know, CalMag provides your plants with two major secondary nutrients. While calcium will keep your girls strong by reinforcing their cell walls and maintaining their structure as a whole, magnesium is necessary for many steps in the photosynthesis process. The Flora Series main course focuses on nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. In their entirety, these three nutrients are responsible for plant growth as a whole. Working together, they strengthen the plant from root to bud, allowing the plants to feed itself properly. Adding to that, these newts help our ladies turn sunlight into the energy and food they will need to sustain life. Without any of them, the entire process breaks down, causing the plant to starve, either because it can't make food or can't consume it efficiently.
The difficult part comes in finding a nice mix that result in happy plants and phenomenal yields.
Starting with pH-balanced water, we added 2 milliliters of CalMag per gallon of water. Oh yeah, and don't forget to stir after each individual nutrient is added to your mix. From there, we threw in 1 milliliter of micro, and 1 milliliter of grow. And lastly, our amended water got a 0.5 milliliter dash of bloom before being pH balanced again. Trying to make things easier for ourselves, we invested in a water pump so that we didn't have to keep filling up a water can. Even better yet, it discharged at a rate that wasn't powerful enough to disrupt our medium, but was fast enough to get the job done quickly. One thing I do want to add here is to make sure that your water doesn't land on any of your ladies. As we learned from one plant that got lightly splashed, contact can give the plants a little bit of newt burn. Go slow and take your time. Once that was done, there was only one thing to do: wait. Fortunately for us, we wouldn't have to sit around long as these girls absolutely loved their first meal. Within just a day, new leaves started shooting off and growth was beyond noticeable. From there, we just kept the tent running as normal. Although I wish I had done this earlier, we added some CO2 bags to the tent to help boost our ladies even more. What I didn't realize though is that these bags take about 30 days before they're running at max output, but better late than never, I suppose.
Before long, it was time for their next feeding, and just like last time, it was rather obvious that the girls are loving their new diets. In just 1 week, our plants have grown new nodes, and yes, even bud sites are starting to appear. Lucky for us, the fun is just getting started.
Because we're growing in a more confined environment, we're trying our best to keep our ladies low and wide so that light can penetrate to all parts of the plant. So tune in next week because we're going to try our hand at topping. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to follow our Twitter and Instagram for additional content. In the meantime, keep growing, keep learning. Catch you later, guys.